At the point when I was a youthful fellow, my dad went on a yachting outings consistently. There were days loaded with fun in the sun, al fresco feasts prepared by a private chef, and grown up discussions about business and money that I was sufficiently lucky to be a part of. However, there was one outing that transcended the rest, the vacation where my dad gave me my absolute first watch. It was anything but a plastic Spider-Man watch. It was a genuine present. Wrist watches have for quite some time been an extravagant thing, an embellishment that is a staple in the gatherings of Fortune 500 organizations, an embellishment that will likewise be found on the wrists of individuals talking on yachts and personal luxury planes. They are an image of riches, influence, and refinement. Some watches have sold for a great many dollars. Watches that have been at the focal point of day-long offering wars, and assuming the CEOs of little organizations are donning watches worth a large number of dollars, then most likely the richest individuals on the planet should wear some noteworthy wristwear, correct? Indeed, today we will look into the watches of a portion of the world's most unmistakable billionaires. We'll investigate how much these watches cost and the remarkable history of these luxurious watches. Bill Gates. With total assets of $114 billion, Bill Gates could stand to gather up any watch he needs. Truth be told, with his abundance, he could manage the cost of a Patek Philippe, unloaded with $31 million, which was the most costly watch at any point sold multiple times. As you without a doubt know, Bill Gates made his fortune by beginning a little organization that got back to Microsoft in 1975, which began as the main programming organization continuously turned into the principal organization to place PCs in the computer room of every home, and surprisingly, however, it's been 45 years and while contenders have emerged, there's no sign that they're failing at any point in the near future. In the past 5 years alone, the organization's stock has ascended by 300%. In this way, with that achievement perpetually connected with his name, you would expect Bill Gates would be cruising through the neighborhood in a Lamborghini with a wrist brimming with ice, as the children say. Be that as it may, the truth may be dear watchers is somewhat less exciting. Bill Gates wears this a Casio Duro. The watch is water safe up to 100 meters, has a 44mm width and a thin 12.5mm case, and weighs a simple 83 grams, which makes it quite kind with the wrist. At the end of the day, composing checks the entire day, you need not bother with the extra strain. The watch is known for its smooth plan, Japanese quartz development, tempered steel case, flat mineral gem, and its sticker price, which is under $50. At present, you can likely gather up this watch at somebody's yard deal involving the adjustment of your vehicle. It could come as a shock that the second richest individual on the planet does generally his business wearing a $50 watch. However, don't stress, sometimes he slaps on an alternate Casio watch which sells for around $150, carrying on with the existence of extravagance for sure. Yet, truly when you have more than $100 billion, you need not bother with a watch to tell individuals the amount you're worth, and that welcomes us to the following individual on our rundown. Jeff Bezos. We can't discuss tycoons without referencing Jeff Bezos. He's at present the most extravagant man on the planet, and as of a long time back, he set another standard with total assets of $199.7 billion. All of you know this story. Jeff began a web-based bookshop called Amazon. Amazon started selling more than books. Amazon rose to progress, and afterward Amazon ate up a large number of organizations. Presently, we as a whole have carports loaded with void prime boxes, and during all of this, Jeff was making money. Jeff isn't known for hindering individuals with conspicuous garments or smooth great looks. However, sometimes he ventures out on the scene. That being said, you'd expect that somebody worth right around $200 billion would have been a couple of jewels on his wrist at the same time, assuming that you expected that you'd be incredibly off base. Jeff has been known to wear a Ulysse Nardin dual time watch, and I mean that watch is genuinely distant from a Casio. I even have a couple of Ulysse Nardin pieces in my wardrobe. The freshest variety of the dual time watch sells for around $8,000 and is a lovely piece of hardware with a treated steel case, exemplary sapphire glass, a self-winding system, and a 43mm width. Yet the freshest variety isn't what Jeff wears. All things considered, he decides on a more seasoned form. A variant he's been wearing for quite a long while at this point, and I must say, I really like the vibe of his better. In any case, it isn't the most costly clock that Jeff possesses. For found inside the mountains of his Texas ranch with the assistance of a long-established establishment, Jeff is building a 500-foot tall clock that runs constantly warm cycles. The clock is intended to tick once every year for 10,000 years, representing long-term thinking. Maybe that drawn-up belief is a similar explanation Jeff doesn't burn through millions of watches. Elon Musk. Elon Musk has made his fortune in extravagant vehicles, spaceships, and web-based keeping money with total assets of $83.6 billion. He can stand to fill a whole Tesla truck with extravagant watches. Anyway, what does this extremely rich person wear on his wrist? Indeed, generally nothing. However, Elon's thoughts are, will we express, right now and then. His closet is truly everything except generally Elon sticks to shirts, pants, and shoes with actually no accessories at all. In any case, every so often, Elon likes to reprimand a surprise, and that something is, in all honesty, the Tag Heuer Carrera Calibre 1887 SpaceX Chronograph. The restricted version watch was delivered in 2012, and just in 2012, watches were made each with their creation number painstakingly engraved into the side. Things being what they are, the reason precisely did SpaceX collaborate with a Swiss watchmaking organization? All things considered, to respond to that inquiry, we need to turn back the clock to a period where space travel might have conveyed much more weight than it does today. It was 1962. Russia was, truth be told, wiping the floor with the United States during the space race. With the Cold War approaching and pressures intense, Russia effectively sent off Yuri Gagarin into space, while American boots remained immovably on strong ground. Yuri turned into the primary human to circle Earth, which would further squeeze on the United States. At last, U.S. astronaut John Glenn steered the Friendship 7 into space. He finished 3 orbits prior to getting back to somewhere safe, and on his arm he wore a Tag Heuer 29158 stopwatch. After 50 years in commemoration of that notable occasion, Tag Heuer delivered the Carrera Calibre 1887 as a team with SpaceX. The watch shares the classic plan of the first R2915A that was worn on the flight with a couple of new planned additions. Close to the 9 o'clock text the dates 1962 and 2013 sit over a picture of the SpaceX Falcon 9 and Dragon, a leather vintage-inspired strap, rounding out the retro-turned-modern look, while toward the back, a smoked sapphire crystal case back as a Falcon 9 and mythical serpent ghosted on it, as well as a SpaceX logo. Shockingly, the watch initially sold for just $5,800, which is a seriously low value for such a very well-designed, limited edition item. Larry Ellison. Ultimately, we have Larry Ellison, who is really the most enriched individual on a rundown with total assets of $72.9 billion. And surprisingly, however, he's the most well-off. He truly wears the most costly watch. A Richard Mille RM5 retails for between $50,000 to $70,000. Set off in 2004, the RM5 was a principal program watch made by Richard Mille. It's 27.5mm wide and 11.8mm thick, making for a thin, simple-to-wear watch. There is a glossy silk elastic tie with a lot of ventilation, and as is standard in Richard Mille watches, the rose gold clasp has the company's name engraved on it. The bezel has a silk finish and the sapphire gem is cambered to match the band of the case. The numbers are ghosted over the titanium development and dials which show the unpredictability and craftsmanship of the actual watch. There are 2 full barrels in the watch that assists with the shock opposition. A seriously gorgeous watch on the off chance that I say to myself. So that's it. The watches of very rich people. Might it be said that you are as amazed as I seem to be? Maybe you are leaving this video having taken in an important realization. You don't necessarily have an extravagant watch to find success, and you don't necessarily have one to show your value either, or perhaps you're shaking your head and asking why these people don't simply purchase something important yet inexpensive. Well, let me know your thoughts on our comment section. In the event that you're delighted with it, feel free to leave a like, subscribe in, and turn on the notification bell button to keep updated on our next videos. See you next time!